It was probably closer to 3 to 5, but I thought there were some 4 and 5 point swings throughout the course of that 40 minutes that we could have gone in our direction if we would just come up with a 50-50 ball or grab the ball that was right in front of us. But those things happen. I think the adrenaline was unlike anything that a lot of those players had experienced before. University of Kentucky, I played this game when I was with Thomas More in the 17-18 season. And I don't remember coaching against a team that is so rock solid and so athletic and so explosive at every spot. I mean, Keon Brooks, he wasn't exactly like on the top of our scouting report, and he just, it seemed like everything he threw up in the first half, 7 of 12, 4 of 6 from the 3-point line. It's someone like that's going to lead you in scoring. And then you have guys that, like Grady and things that are capable of 30-point nights. They're very talented, and it was tough for us. But happy with our effort, and we're thrilled that UK had us down. It's monumental to our community, to the city of Owensboro. So this game meant quite a deal to our school of 750 people, and we thought we represented well. So. We're very appreciative to the University of Kentucky having us.
Coach, as you know, Kentucky's got a roster that's redone. They had 20 assists in this game. I wondered what you thought of the cohesion, the passing, the sharing.
Right. So they shot 59%. And I'm watching our team, and I thought that our effort physically was very, very good. We talk a lot about continuous effort on our team and not standing up and resting. And I may see some on film, but nothing jumped out at me as like Kentucky Wesleyan's just standing there not competing. So that said, you're going to shoot 59% when you take good shots. And every shot, that's what was so frustrating about the night. It's like every offensive possession for them, every shot that went up, it was really the right shot. It was in rhythm. It was off ball reversals. It was off of one more pass. It was at the rim. So I didn't detect anybody on UK's roster that was out there with an agenda other than getting the best shot. So that was very frustrating to us. And anytime you play a team as athletic as them, as long as they shoot 59%, the score indicated that. So.
Coach, outside of it being a big deal for the school and for Owensboro, how does playing at Rupp Arena, playing against Kentucky, actually help your team going forward in the season?
So you're going to be tested in every way facet. So getting the ball reversed for us is a big part of our offense. And against lesser teams at the Division II level, you can get the ball reversed pretty easily. Tonight, every time they got the ball from one side to the other, they really had to work at it because of the length and the athleticism, the way some of the kids on Kentucky's roster could shoot the gaps and just boom, be in the gap in a split second. So that was very difficult for them just to reverse the ball. And so that and I'll go further. We talked about defensive rebounds that if we were going to keep their lead on the boards to single digits, that we were going to have to just make just 5 guys every time. You got to find work every single time. You got to battle every single time, and we did that. And again, the ball we still didn't. They still ended up beating us on the boards by it ended up being 8. We finally got there. They were up by 12 to 15 most of the game. So it tests your spirit because it would be very easy for a team with little personality to go up and down with them for a few minutes and get so frustrated it takes you completely out of your game. And so we hung in there for 40 minutes. Our best stint was from the 8-minute mark to the 4-minute mark, and that's indicative of a team that was tested physically and spiritually and put that behind them and responded. And I'm very proud of our guys for doing that.
Coach, coming into the game, you talked about how hard you guys would have to work for shots with the size advantage. In the second half, you jump up 20% in field goal percentage. So what was the key in the second half there?
Gosh, that's a good question. Jameel Wilson was a very calming influence for us tonight. Jomel Boyd was a very calming influence for us tonight. And you'd have to ask our guys that because they're the ones out there performing. But from my chair, it felt like our roster saw these guys making a couple plays, and Ben Sisson says, you know what, I can do that. And there was a time there midway through the second half where Ben Sisson caught it, faced up and did his deal that he does in practice every day. And Keegan Brewer in the last minute of the game, he does that in practice every day. He was comfortable getting in there and making that play. So it took a few of our upperclassmen stepping in there and making some plays with a tremendous amount of toughness. And the rest of our roster kind of following suit. So it wasn't any amount of strategy that took our field goal percentage from what it was in the first part of the game to the second part of the game. It was really just a team that got a little bit more comfortable and felt like, hey, wait a minute, maybe I can make this play. So that was good to see, and it was a good response from them for sure.
This is for the players. Just talk about this experience of coming up here, and what do you kind of hope to take away from this game, kind of heading into the future, into the regular season?
It's a great experience. I've got to play here a couple times before in high school, and playing UK is completely different. Obviously, it's a step up in competition, but we're all just grateful they were able to have us, and we had the chance to compete tonight.
Yeah, like Wyatt said, I was blessed to play here a couple times as well in high school. I think it was just a good learning experience, something that we could take moving forward. Really just that we can compete with anybody. So now going back to our conference, it should give us a lot more confidence now.
This is a great experience for us. This is my first time being here. I thought that we played very well. I got a whole lot of confidence in us going into the season and just coming together and making plays and hopefully getting wins.
Jamel, you have 29 points in the game. What was kind of your mindset and how you were trying to attack the defense tonight?
When I first heard that we was playing University of Kentucky, my first thought and told the team was, they're just like us. Like, we got to come out here and compete. It wasn't just 29 points. It was just a team effort. And, I credit my teammates for finding me and thanking the coach for, seeing that. And, we just kept it rolling with that.
Coach, you said Keon Brooks wasn't exactly at the top of the scouting report. Who was?
I say that with the most respect because I possibly can. The dude, he can flat play, but it's just so. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah.
I wondered who was at the top of the scouting report.
Well, that's who was at the top of our scouting report. We were. Wheeler, how someone like that, I guess the first instinct is like they have the ability to shoot the ball with Washington and Grady. It's like those are two players that, how can you guard them other than just do the best you can? And they're going to score and they're going to make shots. And they might be at the rim. They're three-level players and they do all three levels perfectly. So you just got to do the best you can. So we talked quite a bit about that. We talked quite a bit about the interior presence there and what that was going to look like with the young man from West Virginia that it just looked like an absolute stud at points during the blue-white game that we watched. So really between some of the guys that can go, and they have multiple of them that can finish with 25 plus per game, and the defensive rebounding and their ability, like if we weren't going to have great offensive possessions, it was going to be a fun night for them in transition. So there were a couple individuals that we kept coming back to, but it was really just a general sense of what we needed to do to compete against Kentucky. And a lot of that surrounded defensive rebounding and transition and trying to key in on a few players that just, if you stand up, if you make a mistake, it's going to be 2 or 3 points. And we felt like Washington and Grady, from what we've read and seen, it's like, those And then Wheeler, he's not, you're not worried about him making 6 threes a game in the game or anything like that. But there were so many bursts, like from our coaching staff. He would just hesitate and go, and it's like, gosh, that's he's just so tough and quick and crafty in the interior. So our guys did as best we could and got a few charges. We talked about that coming in. We were happy about our effort at a lot of different spots. But yeah. So anyway, Keon Brooks got lost, and sure, lo and behold, he had a great first half.
When number 34 Sheboy went out, it seemed like Kentucky's interior defense was a lot easier to score against, a lot less formidable. Was that something intentional that you all were attacking? And how does that change the nature of the game when he's in there versus when he's not in there?
I wouldn't say it was a general sense in our timeout, like he's out, let's attack them. But I think we had 2 very comfortable players in the interior with Ben Sisson and Melly that, they may have sensed that. You can maybe ask them. So our offense isn't really predicated on let's get this guy the ball. I rarely say that at timeouts, and I do that kind of intentionally because our offense is a lot of free motion and just I want them communicating amongst one another about what they like. So it did change the game. I think there was, a physical presence about him when he was in there, and it made each defensive rebound tougher. And now that you say that, I understand your question. When Boyd and Sisson were doing their things, it really wasn't against him. But nonetheless, it was great decision making with our offense just within us. But it wasn't like a deliberate coaching thing. Go at someone else. No.
We'll do one more question.
You're really the first coach to face a John Calipari team with so many old guys on it since he's been here. Based on what you've seen from them in the past and what you saw tonight, how was it? How did it show up that they had so many older veteran guys?
You talking about Kentucky Wesleyan or University of Kentucky? Right. Yeah. So that's a tough question. I think that they had the opportunity to really and the scholarship money to go out and sign some veteran guys that have won a lot of games at a very, very high level. And between Grady, Wheeler, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the last name, but Sheboy, so they've done that. And I think and you alluded to the how well in sync they are offensively and how agenda-less they are offensively. It's my belief that when you have experience and you have guys that have been there and done that before, it can make for a quicker assimilation. And I think they have the opportunity this year to do that. They look very, very polished. I thought they were enthusiastic out there. I thought that they represented themselves very well, just their general sense of their body language, and that's mature teams, older teams are going to be better at that stuff than younger teams. And we're looking forward to rooting them on as the season goes along.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
somebody pee on this seat? Did you have 29 on us today? It felt like 59. Did great. Congrats.
Start up front here with Daryl. Yeah, John, a lot of chatter during the preseason about the transfers, the freshmen. Did it surprise you at all that Keon Brooks was the guy that stepped up, kind of jump-started the game for you?
He played good. He's way better, way more skilled. I think Davion fought. I love what I saw from Davion today. He didn't make any threes. What was he? 1 of 5. So, in a normal game, he's going to make more than 1 of 5, But what I would tell you, 20 assists, 9 turnovers, the way we're playing with the speed we're playing with was pretty good. We could have had, we held it at times instead of, a drive, pass, drive again. We went drive, pass, and that guy tried to make a play. So we got to keep working on that. But the biggest thing became our interior defense, where in the second half, Jamal just went crazy. 12 out of 17. So, again, we got to figure out. And I'll be honest, I have not zeroed in on it. But I told him after the game, if you can play interior defense, you're going to play for us. So you want to play interior defense. I know Oscar was out, and he's hip's been bothering him, so I left him out the rest of the game. But it doesn't matter. We had other guys that, we tried 2 or 3 different guys to say, let's go, let's see how you do. Didn't do very well. But short of that, there was some good stuff.
Questions, guys? John Hill in the middle. Cal, do you expect CJ and Jacob to be ready for that Duke game, and kind of where do they fit into this when they are?
We don't know yet. I mean, Jacob practiced like one day, but we're coming down to the wire right now, so it'll be hard. CJ has not started yet, so it'll be hard. But if you ask me, and we get to 8, there's a couple guys, that it's just how it is. You want to play more guys, you just got to play better. I mean, again, Severe, 6-1, and the great thing is Ty had 18 points on 9 shots. What? And he didn't get the ball early in the game. Like he wasn't involved. He never wavers, just plays, which is great about him.
John, Hopkins said the other day that what he was looking for in this game was cohesion, how well they played together, 20 assists. How well, especially on an opening night, did you feel like they shared the ball and they played as a unit?
No, there were times that they needed to make one extra pass, and the guy that got it, and you got to understand, they're trying to establish who they are too. So it's natural. It's not selfishness. I'm trying to get this. But we're trying to get to where the ball moves a little bit more, and we keep driving. And we did it later. I come back to we didn't turn them over as much as you would like to, which you got to give them credit. Their guard play played well. Their big guys literally did not turn it over and got shots up every time. We got a ways to go. There was good stuff, but it's glaring to me what I got to do now. And forget about Friday, Tuesday, next Friday. It's the path that this team's got to go on is what are we going to be perimeter defense. I thought Xavier did a great job of fighting screens. We got some other guys that were running gaps. We're not playing that way. we got beat on the bounce, and you guys and ladies know how much we work on staying in front of a driver. We just didn't, didn't seem to do it.
Cal, you've talked about wanting to be a speed team this year. It looked like you all were really trying to push the pace. Did you live up to your expectations today with that?
Yeah, the only reason we started pressing the way we were doing it is I just wanted to speed them up and get the game going the way we wanted to. How much we're going to press, I don't know. But I like that we can press with our guards. Like they can pick up and play, and you're not going to get beat on the dribble. They're going to stay in front. But we ran. And what happens when you play with that kind of speed? It's usually about 12, 13 minutes into the game, you'll get a little bust out. And then in the second half, about the 10-minute mark, 11-minute mark, 12-minute mark, in there, you get another bust out because it just wears on the other team. You just keep running. And, like I said, I thought we had a couple guys that didn't play with the kind of motor they need to all the time. It's not just making shots. It's flying up and down the court. It's, again, if a guy is playing you, like you're struggling to guard him, play him before he catches the ball. May not deny him, but you're going to control him a little bit instead of him controlling you. But that takes a high motor. Or you can wait till he catches it and then I try to guard him. But I'm just saying, it's not the kid's fault. I told him after, how much have we worked on interior defense? Literally, we've been more scrimmaging years. And the main reason is we got 10 guys and they like to compete. So we're getting stuff done. But the breakdown of the defense, we have to get back to what I've done normally. And again, if we're what we could be defensively, we could be good. If we're not defensively able to turn people over, if we're not able to have interior defense, it's hard to win. Unless you can score 95 and hope they scored 93.
John, 29 three-point attempts tonight. Is there a number that you would like to see the team average from deep?
My son said to me, we took 29 threes. I said, what was the percentage? He said 37. I said, okay, I'm good with that. You shoot 37, 40%, you probably should shoot 29 threes. My thing is, if you watch this, and I imagine a lot of teams watch this, they're going to say we're taking away threes. Well, it ain't all bad for us because we are a driving team. So we will try to get to the rim. Or hard closeouts. I love it, how we play. But they'll be saying, well, they didn't throw it to the post. We need to work getting Oscar the ball more. We haven't done that enough. But let me just put it this way. We got a lot of work to do.
Cal, about the three-point shooting, Keon, I think, is 23% from three in his career. Before this, is 4 or 6 today. How much has he improved that over the course of the summer, and is that a weapon in his
He's
bag?
improved all of that stuff. My thing, and I keep coming back to him, your skill set is really elevated. You're going to think I'm crazy. I liked when he was screening the ball because then he would step back and be wide open. When normally you're trying to corral the ball, well, if that guy can shoot and he steps back, you got a problem. So I kind of like that, what I saw today. But again, he got to fight, rebound more. Like a couple he rebounded, he was tired, and that he looked to pass it instead of when you rebound it, you go with it. You're the point guard. And he did it later, and he made a pass, and I think he got Davion a layup. We're even faster if those guys can bust it up the court and then make easy plays. But he's gotten better.
Cal, another one on Keon. After the blue-white game, you kind of suggested there's 2 spots that you're really looking at for a bunch of guys to compete for there. Is that how a veteran should step up and kind of address that? He probably heard some of those comments.
I'm not just saying it to the media. I'm saying it to them. If there are a group of guys, like Davion helped himself today because of how he guarded. Like, it's not a secret if you're watching the same game I'm watching and you say he really guarded, and Cal has said 50 times, the guys that fight and really guard and will dive on the floor and go rebound, they're going to get more minutes. Well, he's got more minutes. And he was 1 for 5 from the three. Doesn't matter. You can stay on the court if you defend that way. If you're breaking down defensively and you're 1 for 5, well, let me stay in. What? This ain't communism, my man. You got to come out. And so this team needs an interior defender other than just Oscar. Who is it? I don't know. Jacob raised his hand. I said, okay, can be you.
This is a big game for Wesleyan. What is it kind of like to host an in-state game like this?
Well, they did it. This was a great game for us. And I told Coach, I said, you guys bullied us a little bit. And I said, I love it because we have to play the exhibition game based on finances for the tennis program and all the other programs. Most teams are doing what? Playing scrimmages. So when we play an exhibition, we got to get something out of it. And most of it is I got to learn about my team. I learned today. There's some glaring issues that we got to deal with. But I saw it. And if we didn't play a team that would battle us, we would never know. Then you go and you get into your season and you're like, geez, we're not what we thought. Today we learned. And I'm hoping that it helps them and their pride and their confidence in what they could do this year. Their guards were quick. We had to fight to stay in front. And I thought we did a fairly good job. I mean, I would imagine a couple of their guards said, I was surprised they could stay in front of me because they're quick. But they only turned it over 12 times. So, and we were pressing them, trying to wear them down. Didn't wear them down. Wore us down, I think.
Cal, tonight we saw a pretty evenly distributed set of minutes tonight. No one even went over 25. Going forward, do you continue to plan to use such depth?
Well, so why do you think I played all these guys? Why do you think I played that many instead of 7 or 8?
See who would play interior
I need to know who's defending, who's going to fight, and it's your choice. How about this? I'm a college professor, and I'm giving them the answers to the test. Here it is. I'm telling you what it is. Well, I can't play that way. It's not a problem. I still love you. You can stay with me at my house. I'm just not playing you that much. You got to fight. You cannot give up on plays. That's not acceptable here. And so I did pretty good offensively. So did he, and he fights more. So, you played them all. Everybody got a chance. Now we'll watch the tape. Well, if I would have played more, you'd have got less rebounds. So don't tell me that. You got your minutes. What'd you do? Who took advantage of their minutes? Who do you think? Name one. Davion took advantage. He didn't start. He could have pouted. He didn't start. Who else took advantage? You can go down and say there are 3 or 4 guys. See, you're just looking offense. I'm looking at, I told them, this is going to be, I need dogs. Who are the dogs? Come on. Show me who you are. I don't play that way. Okay, I got it. You just move back a little bit. And now I tell them every day, the first fight you have is with yourself. You can't fight somebody else unless you fight yourself. And fighting yourself means you don't stop when you feel like stopping. And if the energy is raised, you raise yours even higher. It's physical. My physicalness is going to be more. That's how you begin to fight other people. And the fight doesn't mean fist fight. It means I'm going to battle. Either he gets it or I get it. Who got it today for them? He fought more than we fought. Just how it is. So we'll learn.